guys, it's Miss Adams. How are you today? I am coming to you for another web screencast for your assignments coming up. What I'm going to do is the nest task that we're going to be doing is going to be broken up into a couple days because of COVID, because we only see each other twice a week. We are going to slow things down a little bit. Hopefully, some of you are cheering for that, and that is great. What you're looking at right now is the Google Classroom. So I am showing you this for a couple of different reasons, just as number one, a reminder of where everything is, and number two, where we're at right now. So you should be completing by Friday the liftoff tasks, which is in this folder. All right, and we're starting on Wednesday. We're starting our task one. So when you look at task one, you will see a couple of different things in this folder. You're going to see the PowerPoint, the slideshow that has task one. This has all of the task one assignments in there. We're not going to do them all in this screencast. I'm going to kind of break them up a little bit. I will add them to the Google Classroom so that you have access to them. You also have a schedule. I have a schedule here for this week. So you know a little confusion as to what you should be doing when you are not on live with the teacher. So I thought I'd clear that up with a schedule. So please check that out. There are some links in there for those of you who are not on live. You should be looking at that every day. In here, you also have Unit 2, Task 1, Student Handbook, Student Workbook. This is where you're going to be doing all of the assignments for Task 1. So again, we're not going to do them all at once, so don't freak out. We're going to go over that a little bit. I want to show you a few things there. And right here, you're going to see a rubric. This is something that we didn't have first quarter. So hopefully those of you eager beavers that want those 3s and 4s can have a look at this rubric, and that's going to show you what I'm looking for when I look at your assignments that you're turning in. Remember, if you're like, oh, what assignments she's grading, what is she looking for? That is all right here in the assignment list. All right. So you will also notice right here an assignment playlist for natural resources. I know that some of you had a little bit of trouble understanding the natural resources for our culminating project, and we're still talking about natural resources. So it's important that you really understand that. So what I've done here is I have given you a link to a Legends of Learning activity page where you're going to click on Legends of Learning and that link there, and you're going to go to the teacher assignment. You're going to log in with a student account, which would just be your Google account. Okay, you can create an avatar and play some games to teach you a little bit more about natural resources. All right, that's your Friday activity once you have all of your other work done. All right, so there is your assignments. Again, remember our culminating project, project organizer. You're going to have some stuff in there as well. Okay. All right, here we go. So let's look at the schedule first. This is the schedule for the week of November 16th through the 20th. Again, we've already done Monday and Tuesday. So I'm going to lay this out. First and second hour on Monday should follow along with me on the kickoff task. Seventh hour was supposed to be doing the world populations website and Google form. And on Tuesday, first and second hour, we're doing the world populations website and Google form. And seventh hour was with me today. Tomorrow, first and second hour, we are going to do the engage activity in the worksheet. And seventh hour will be working a little bit on background information. They're going to look at some videos, work on the concept map, complete any part of the liftoff task you didn't finish. And then there's a video here to help you with the concept map. And then there's a read and respond. Yes, please do that. It's going to give you a little bit more information. and it's good practice looking for information in a scientific article. And then on Thursday, we're going to just flip flop. So, first and second hour are going to do that background information, and seventh hour is going to do engage with me in class, or your Mrs. Martin, if that's where you're at. On Friday, all students. So, on Friday, you're going to first things first, you're going to finish any assignments that have not been completed. So you're going to work on that concept map, liftoff task, student worksheet, project organizer, the liftoff task section, and then the task one worksheet, just the engage part. Okay, you don't have to go any farther than the engage part. If and when you finish those activities, you are welcome to click the link here and that will take you to the game. You can also go through Google Classroom, whichever one works for you. So if this layout here works for you, let me know, and I am happy to do this every week until we get back to the classroom with each other. All right. So there's that. And then here is our task two, or task one, sorry, unit two, task one worksheet that you will be working through. Some one handy dandy thing that we've got going on here with a Google Doc. So if you click this little arrow right here, this is going to show your outline. So today we're going to work on the engage part. But say next week, we're going to work on the explore part. So if you don't want to scroll through and go here to the explore part, you can click here and it'll take you right where you need to go. All right. So that's pretty cool. And that way you don't get so frustrated looking at all of the different things. So this is what we're doing. It's going to take a little while because of our slower schedule, but we will get this done. So we're going to do the engage. This is where your answers are going to go. All right. And then you're going to stop at the red bar. All right. And then we'll do the explore next week. So you won't have to worry about this just yet. Okay. So you're going to stop at the red bar. This is all we're going to do today. Talk about cause and effect. All right. So in your PowerPoint slideshow, this is the entire task one. Again, it's very long, right? But we're not going to do it all in one day. Okay. So don't stress out about that. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with task one, explosions in human population. So if you did happen to complete the human population activity, you'll know that there's some data in there. That's the reason I had you doing that. There's some data in there that I wanted you to interpret and figure out, wow, what's going on with our availability on organisms and populations in an ecosystem, which is kind of what our standard is going to be for this time around. Your learning goals for this task one, the whole task one, is to understand the concepts of resource availability and population growth and how those two things go together. All right, so we're going to make predictions about future population size and its impact. All right, and then we're going to analyze and interpret some data on the historical changes in human population, explaining why technological innovations have resulted in extra resources that make human population growth a thing still. And then we're going to extrapolate how this cause and effect relationship can predict future population growth and the effects that go with it. And we're also going to apply some knowledge of resources and populations to explain how availability of water might affect population growth. All right, so we learned a little bit about the Aral Sea, and remember when they said, no water, no life, right? Just something to think about. All right. Next thing is some academic vocabulary. These are some of the things that we are going to talk about. If you don't know what agricultural revolution and the industrial revolution are, there is a handy dandy PowerPoint right here, not PowerPoint, a video that is going to give you some information about that. Okay, so that might be good to have. All right. Green revolution, we're going to talk about that. Fertilizers, pesticides, genetically modified crops, and resources. So if you hear in the news GMO, that's what genetically modified crops are. All right, so our engaged task, this is what we're going to do today. This is where I'm going to go with the video. In the liftoff task, we looked at satellite images and we started asking questions about the shrinking Aral Sea. So many of you asked some really good questions about why this is happening, who uh, caused this to happen, and made some predictions maybe about the humans and how they're at fault for this. In the task, in the engage task, we're going to explore how and why humans are having more of a presence on the planet and predict how this might affect our environment, okay, especially the environment like the Aral Sea, okay? So, do you still have questions? Many of you asked why this is happening and began making predictions, all right, that humans might be somehow at fault. We're pretty sure after watching those videos the other day that it's their fault. Okay, why the sea dried up? 100%. Why it's their fault. Um, so think about the presence that we have on the planet Earth and how is human presence really affecting the things that we need. Okay, so if they hadn't dumped those chemicals, or if they hadn't irrigated those crops, or if maybe they had done a crop rotation instead of only doing cotton, maybe they wouldn't be having the problems that they're having at the Aral Sea. Okay, so it's super duper important think about those things, all right? You guys are going to be grown ups one of these days, and you're going to need to make some decisions, all right? Talk about the ethics, environmental ethics, okay? So today is our engage, which is what we're going to do. And first things first, we're going to talk a little bit about human population growth or overpopulation. So we're going to go ahead and have a look at this. There we go. From 1 billion in 1800. Okay. So that was quite interesting. All right. So we watched more than probably we should have or needed to, but that just gives you really, really good information about why we have population and remember in unit one we talked about that carrying capacity. Okay, so when they talked about sustainability and the death rate and the birth rate and how one affects the other, that is carrying capacity. So, really, our environment can only handle so much. And we think we have a lot of people, but the environment can only take what it can take. And once that happens, you get plagues and viruses that are going to kill some people off. Maybe yeah, I'm not gonna speculate. Anyways, okay, so what we're gonna do today, you're going to record your responses in your student guide under the engage section. So this is the cause and fact, which remember is one of the things that we're gonna focus on, one of the skills that we're gonna focus on for this unit. So for the groups that are at school, you're gonna use the video to make predictions about population growth. Okay. And if you're online, you're going to do this individually. Well, actually, that doesn't make any sense. You're going to do that later. So you're also going to make a population based on the past data. What do you think we can expect for future human populations? And what do you think population growth means for our future? Okay. So that is going to end the engage section. So then you're going to go to the unit task and we're going to answer these two questions. All right. Thinking about the video that you watched based on past data, what do you think we can expect for future human population? Always explain. Okay. Always explain. And then what do you think population growth means for our future? Okay. Do you think it's going to level out anytime soon? Or do you think we're going to have a really big explosion? All right. What do you think? And hopefully there's no questions. Otherwise, you can hit me up on office hours and we can chat about it. All right. Have a great day. Oh, and don't forget to do your Friday work on Friday. Have a good day.